All right, hold up, wait a minute, wait, don't leave your seats, I didn't say you can move, stay still. Good. About a couple weeks ago from now, I released the first video for the God of War 3 series that we're doing on the channel. A lot of you guys, listen, I was already gonna do this, okay? A lot of you, oh, watch this, watch that, play this, play that. I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. Playing the old God of War 1, 2, Ghost of Sparta, two issues with this. Number one, I do not have the time to go through 3 extra games when the Lies of P DLC comes out, or the fact that I'm considering doing Death Stranding, Elden Ring Night Reign is right around the corner as well. And considering that I'm gonna start The Witcher 3 on the channel very soon, which promises to be the biggest and best series on the channel yet. The second main problem is they're on a PS Plus subscription that requires you to stream them. And me having the McDonald's Wi-Fi that I have, I cannot do that, and it would be a massive disservice to you guys because the quality of those videos would be absolutely abysmal. And I can keep on uploading the God of War 3 stuff without having to go here, play God of War 3, then backtrack, go and play God of War 1 and 2. It's kind of pointless and would kind of be drawn out for no reason when I'm already like more than halfway into God of War 3 and I've played the Norse games too. It's kind of pointless doing that anyway. So yeah, here we are. I want to see if all the things he's doing is justified, man. Listen, the only thing that's justified that he's doing is what he did to Hermes. Hermes deserve that, right? We are going to react to a summary of God of War. This one, right? Because I'm not reacting to like a 4-hour-long video by Ginji. Let's go. I don't miss Atreus sections in God of War Ragnarok, where he was spitting game to Angerboda for like 10 hours straight.
From start to finish.
Let's go.
Our story begins with the primordials, the very first beings to come into existence, fighting for control of their creation, Earth. This war ravished the world, and eventually the 3 Furies were born from the rage and power of the battle. The Furies were then tasked to honor...
So you've got God of War Ascension. Also a game that I saw is a classic that I can't really play. And then there's comics. Oh lord, we've got a lot to go through in literally 15 minutes.
Of Earth. Their first victim was the Hecatoncheires, Aegeon, who had broken an oath to one of the first gods, Zeus. To make an example of Aegeon, the Furies petrify his body into the prison of the damned for anyone who dared to break an oath in the future. Eventually, the Furies began to take guidance from the god of war, Ares, who convinced them to join him in a siege on Olympus. Believing their forces to be too weak, the queen of the Furies, Alecto, birthed a son with Ares, hoping to create a powerful warrior. This warrior, Orcos, proved to be a failure in Ares' eyes and was disowned. However, the Furies decided to use him as their oath keeper. With Ares still in search for his warrior to help take over Olympus, Zeus hears of a prophecy foretelling his death at the hands of one of his sons, a marked warrior. Ares is then tasked to find and dispose of this threat. Ares discovers Deimos, a young Spartan who bore a birthmark all over his body, and storms the city to capture him. During the kidnapping, Deimos' brother, another young Spartan by the name of Kratos, attempts to stop the god, but he is struck down, leaving a scar over his right eye. Ares attempts to kill Kratos for this, but his sister, Athena, the goddess of war, convinces him to spare the boy. Deimos is then taken to the god...
Wait, hold up. What was that? Attempts to stop the god, but he is shot down, leaving a scar over his right eye. Okay.
But he is struck down, leaving a scar over his right eye. Ares attempts to kill Kratos for this, but his sister, Athena, the goddess of war, convinces him to spare the boy. Deimos is then taken to the god of death, Thanatos.
So Athena is Ares' sister. But someone in the comments told me she's Kratos' sister. Anyway, Deimos is then taken to the god of death, Thanatos.
The prophecy and protect Zeus. Kratos, tortured by his inability to save his brother, vows to never fail like that again and tattoos a replica of Deimos' birthmark on himself in remembrance.
Because I was confused, because when he said that, he attacked Kratos, that Kratos never had the thing on him. Cool, no problem. Remained with him as he became a leading member of the Spartan.
Rage and pain remained with him as he became a leading member of the Spartan army, eventually marrying a Spartan woman named Lysandra, and the two have a daughter whom they named Calliope. Calliope unfortunately
I heard of
contracts a
her.
plague, which infects her skin and causes the Spartan authorities to decide for her to be thrown into a chasm and left to die. Kratos then sets off to find the cure for her disease, a mysterious element with the exceptional healing abilities called ambrosia.
Right.
Unbeknownst to Kratos, the gods had a wager in which they selected various heroes whom they believed would be the first to obtain the ambrosia.
Right.
Kratos was chosen by Ares, likely due to their prior run-in in which Kratos displayed his resilience and bravery.
Right.
After battling the other gods' selected heroes, Kratos fights a climactic battle with an army of barbarians and their leader Ulrich, who was trying to retrieve the
What the
ambrosia to
flip's
heal
his
his own
face,
father.
bro? Why is his
Kratos
face
eventually
like
bests
that?
Ulrich and captures the ambrosia, but at the cost of many of his men. Upon returning to Sparta, Kratos heals his daughter, and the king of Sparta bestows on him the title of captain.
Right.
As captain of the Spartan army, Kratos
Yeah, I remember in God of War Ragnarok, he did mention he was a leader of an army. I do remember that.
leads men to many victorious battles, often slaying scores of enemies with an increasing hunger for power, despite the wishes of his wife. Eventually,
Damn, Lysandra.
Kratos comes across a familiar enemies with an increasing hunger for power, despite the
Kratos, you got good taste, my boy.
wishes of his wife.
Shoot.
Eventually, Kratos comes across a familiar enemy, the barbarian King Ulrich, who still blames Kratos for his father's
King
death.
Ulrich? That sounds like a
Kratos and his
name
army are no match
you
for the
hear out of The
rebuilt
Witcher
barbarian
3.
army, and Kratos, moments away from death at the hands of Ulrich, calls out to Ares in desperation. Ares, seeing a candidate
Wait, his skin is not white here, though. His skin... I need to know how his skin becomes
away
white.
from death at the hands of Ulrich, calls out to Ares in desperation. Ares, seeing a candidate to overthrow Olympus, accepts Kratos' offer of loyalty and kills the barbarians in exchange. He then gives Kratos the Blades of Chaos, symbolizing his servitude to the god of war. Under Ares' loyalty, Kratos slays many innocents, razes villages, and spreads chaos in the name of him. Under Ares' influence, Kratos slowly loses his humanity with every battle fought for the god. Soon, Kratos is tasked
Wait, hold on. I feel like I missed something. I know I should rebuild. Okay. For me, I know the barbarian King Ulrich, who still...
across a familiar enemy, the barbarian King Ulrich, who still blames Kratos for his father's death.
Kratos
And his army are no match for the rebuilt barbarian army, and Kratos, moments away from death at the hands of Ulrich, calls out to Ares in desperation. Ares, seeing a candidate to overthrow Olympus, accepts
Ares
Kratos'
just
offer of
used
loyalty
him.
and kills
Ares just be... Bro, these gods, man. No wonder why he's so pissed. Ares just be using him. And
the
as I
barbarians
said...
in exchange.
Okay.
He then gives Kratos the Blades of Chaos, symbolizing his servitude to the god of war. Under Ares' loyalty, Kratos
I made a deal at the end of God of War 2018. I made a deal with the god that cost me my soul. That god's name was Ares, the god of war. I understand it now.
slays many innocents, razes villages, and spreads chaos in the name of him. Under Ares' influence, Kratos slowly loses his humanity with every battle fought for the god.
Of course.
Soon, Kratos is tasked to raid a village of Athena's followers due to Ares' jealousy of Athena, whom their father Zeus favored. There, he encounters an oracle who warns Kratos of dark things awaiting him inside the city's temple. Kratos ignores this warning and enters the temple, blindly slaughtering those inside. However, afterwards, Kratos comes to realize that those inside the temple were none other than his beloved wife Lysandra and daughter Calliope.
Yeah. There it is. There it be, man. There it be. The trauma and the rage he must feel. The trauma and the... Dude, these gods don't give a crap. No wonder why he hates God so much. Going into 2018, God, no wonder why he hates God so much.
Ares reveals that he had transported them there secretly in order to sever Kratos' human ties and create the perfect...
You sick bastard. Oh my gosh. That is diabolical in every form and shape of the word. Every definition of the word. Dude, that is diabolical. It's just so wild, man. Because you think about the Norse Kratos, how he tried to teach Atreus. You know, how he almost hides that trauma that he feels. Gods are users, gods are abusers, gods are selfish, self-serving pieces of ass. Oh my gosh, for a parent to come out with all that stuff that they went through to a kid must be so difficult. And Kratos' arc in becoming a father is about to hit so much harder. That's insane.
warrior. Kratos leaves the bodies of his family inside the temple to burn, and as he exits, the oracle curses him, binding the ashes of his wife and child to Kratos' skin, forcing him to wear another reminder of his failure.
There we go. There we go. Another...
and turning him into the ghost of Sparta.
Ashes of...
Kratos then renounces his allegiance to Ares and breaks his
Dude, bro is literally wearing his grief as a Fortnite skin. My goodness.
oath, causing the Furies to hunt him down and torture him with endless illusions.
Wait,
Kratos
the
then
Furies
finds and
what?
breaks his oath, causing the Furies to hunt him down and torture him with endless illusions. Kratos then finds himself trapped in an illusion of his former home in Sparta. Orcos appears before him and helps him break the illusion using Lysandra's necklace and ring. Orcos then convinces Kratos to seek out Aletheia, the Oracle at Delphi. He finds the Oracle captured, but is unable to prevent her from being mortally wounded. Before her death, she informs Kratos that the only way he can be free of his oath to Ares would be to slay the Oath's enforcers, the Three Furies. Kratos returns to Orcos, who informs him of Ares' true intentions all along to use him to overthrow Zeus. With this knowledge, Kratos travels to Delos to slay the Furies.
Is this
Upon his
Ascension?
arrival, however, he is ambushed and captured by them.
Oh, this is Ascension. What do I... Oh, okay, it's giving me chronological
And they
stuff.
proceed to torture him in the prison of the damned. After 2 weeks of torture, one of the Furies leaves an opening for Kratos to exploit and escape his imprisonment. After various battles and illusions, Kratos is able to outsmart and outfight the Furies,
right in the
slaying all
titties,
three
bro.
of them. After the death of the Furies, Kratos returns to his home in Sparta, where he finds Orcos, who reveals to Kratos that while he had killed the Furies, they transferred Kratos' oath to him, keeping the bond with Ares intact. Orcos hands Kratos his blade and asks him for an honorable death in order to permanently end Ares' hold on them. Kratos complies, killing Orcos and burning his home with the former Oathkeeper's body still inside.
Kratos be killing niggas.
No longer under servitude to Ares, Kratos dedicates his life to serving the gods of Olympus as their trusted warrior. After defeating an invading Persian army for the gods, Kratos appears before them to ask for his next task. Suddenly, however, he sees the sun fall from the sky, enveloping the world in darkness. Kratos follows the last trace of light he can see to the temple of Helios. After speaking to Athena, Kratos concludes that Helios had been captured, allowing the god of dreams Morpheus to entrance other gods into a deep sleep, allowing him to take control of Greece. Inside the temple, Ios, Helios' sister, tasks Kratos to awaken her brother's fire steeds in order to find him. In return, she promises to relieve Kratos of his nightmares, which haunt him in the form of a melody his daughter used to play on her flute. He does this, and the steeds take him to Helios' location, the underworld. There, he meets Charon, the ferryman on the river Styx, who ultimately denies Kratos passage as it is not his time. Kratos engages him, but is knocked unconscious and thrown into Tartarus, the darkest depths of the underworld where the Titans had been chained by Zeus. Upon waking, Kratos witnesses Atlas's chains broken and the Titan missing. Kratos fights his way through Tartarus, eventually climbing out to confront Charon once again. After defeating him, Kratos uses his ferry to follow Helios' light down the river Styx to a temple. There, Kratos sees his daughter upon the shore. He follows her inside, but instead finds Persephone, the queen of the underworld. Persephone reveals to Kratos that he can meet his daughter once again.
So this must be Hades' wife then. Hades, the way he looking, I'm surprised he bagged a freaking woman, dude. I'm surprised he got one. What the hell?
And she is now residing in the Elysium Fields. Persephone tells Kratos that to see his daughter, he must make a sacrifice, to give up all of his weapons and powers given to him by the gods. Kratos does this, transferring his powers into the Forsaken Tree, and regains his humanity. He reunites with his daughter, but the reunion is interrupted by Persephone, who reveals her true intentions. She reveals that it was her who released Atlas, whom she tasked with destroying the pillar that holds the earth. She intends for this to kill everyone.
So Atlas is the one that holds the earth. Okay.
Including herself, to free her from her imprisonment by Hades as his wife. Kratos painfully...
Because I remember back in school, they used to talk about a Greek god that, like, holds the earth up and stuff like that. So his name is Atlas. It kind of makes sense, actually.
He makes the decision to give up his ability to see his daughter and regains his weapons from the tree. Doing this, he once again becomes the ghost of Sparta and, against his daughter's wishes, takes off to stop Persephone. Kratos finds the queen at the base of the pillar, and she carries him to the top. There, the two engage in a final battle. During this battle, Persephone attempts to confuse Kratos and convince him to return to Elysium to be with his daughter. Kratos resists this, however, and Persephone orders Atlas to take care of him. Atlas does not get this chance, however, as Kratos chains the Titan to the ceiling of the underworld and returns to Persephone, besting her in battle and killing her. Her body explodes, destroying the pillar and leaving Atlas as the only thing holding the world together. Atlas, though defeated, taunts Kratos as he remains a slave to the gods. Kratos accepts this fate, as he can only hope that serving the gods will cause them to one day free him from his nightmares. Atlas then predicts to Kratos that they will meet again.
I'm sorry, Kratos, but that ain't gonna work. Literally, there is no way out of this one, bro. No way.
Before Kratos leaves to return Helios to the sky. Weak, and now knowing that his sins will never allow him to see his daughter again, Kratos falls from the chariot, landing on a cliff overlooking the Aegean Sea. Sometime after waking, Kratos is sent into the sea to kill a Hydra and return peace to the waters.
Ooh, a Hydra.
After doing so, he is approached by Athena, who asks Kratos to save her city, Athens, from her brother Ares, whose army is currently advancing. Kratos, seeing an opportunity to get revenge on Ares, agrees on the condition that the gods free him of his nightmares once and for all, as well as offer him a chance at redemption.
For what reason,
Kratos
though?
enters Athens to find the town's oracle, who tells him that in order for a mortal to defeat a god, he must seek the power of Pandora's box, which is locked inside a temple constructed on the back of the titan Kronos, who Zeus cursed to wander the desert of lost souls for eternity. Kratos
So
makes
that's
his way
what's
to the
leading up
temple,
to where we are right
encountering
now
a
in the game.
mysterious gravedigger on the way. Inside the temple, Kratos solves several puzzles in order to find Pandora's box. However, Ares senses this and throws a pillar from Athens, impaling Kratos and killing him. Ares then arrives and steals the box as Kratos dies and returns to the underworld. However, with help from the gravedigger, who refers to Kratos as my child, he is able to climb from Hades and return to Athens. There, he opens Pandora's
Dude, this man Kratos be going to the underworld and back, climbing from the Kratos got that dog in him.
box and gains the power to confront Ares. After a battle, Ares tortures Kratos by forcing him to relive his family's death at his hands. Kratos resists this, however, and Ares is forced to strip the blades of chaos from Kratos' arms and kills the illusions of his family in front of him. Freed from the illusion, Kratos finds a nearby sword being used as an ornamental bridge and uses it to kill the god of war. The gods praise Kratos for killing the rebelling Ares. Kratos then asks Athena to finally free him of his nightmares. Athena then finally reveals to Kratos that while she can forgive his sins, his nightmares will stay with him forever. Kratos, feeling abandoned by the gods, climbs back to the cliffs overlooking the Aegean Sea, and feeling death as his only escape, throws himself off. However, Athena stops him at the bottom, claiming that there is now an empty throne upon Olympus. Kratos then enters a portal and claims his throne as the new god of war.
Oh, wow. This level of aura farming must be studied. He just like me.
Still haunted by his memories, Kratos decides to explore his past against Athena's wishes. He makes his way to the Temple of Poseidon in Atlantis. Poseidon attempts to stop Kratos, but he defeats his defenses and reaches the city. There, Kratos finds, much to his surprise, his mother, Callisto, dying on the ground. She reveals to him that his father is the one who brought her there, and that his brother Deimos is still alive, but does not have much time. Before dying, she tells Kratos to seek out his brother in Sparta. Kratos then departs Atlantis, but not before encountering the Titan Thera, whom he frees, destroying the city in a flood. Kratos returns to Sparta, but on his way encounters and kills Thanatos' daughter, Erinis. Upon his arrival to the city, he is praised by its inhabitants, led by a young Spartan who gives Kratos his arms from when he was the commander of the Spartan army. Kratos goes to the Temple of Ares, and after encountering a spirit-like vision of his younger self, he learns that he must return to Atlantis to find Death's domain. Upon returning, however, Kratos is stopped by a statue of Poseidon, inhabited by the god, who warns him that he will pay for sinking the kingdom of Atlantis. Kratos avoids the statue and makes his way through the ruins of the city, eventually coming across the gravedigger once again, who cryptically warns Kratos not to alienate the gods. Kratos then finds the gateway to Death's domain. Inside, Kratos finds and frees his brother, who becomes enraged at him for seemingly forgetting
Who the flip is this? Damn, man, it be your own family.
Kratos saves his brother and the two reconcile. Kratos gives Deimos his...
Oh, sorry, I'm so dumb. That was Deimos. My fault. I'm thinking he had another brother, bro. That was
the two
Deimos.
fight Thanatos together. During the battle, Thanatos kills Deimos, and Kratos avenges his brother by finally killing the god of death.
Dude, you got
a broken
no
Kratos
family.
then carries his brother up the mountain, where the gravedigger has prepared a grave for him. Kratos ponders what he has become, and the gravedigger answers, Death, the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, Oppenheimer quote. I am become death, destroyer of worlds.
Appears before him and attempts to elevate him to a full god. Kratos stops her, however, and returns to Olympus, claiming that the gods will pay for what they have done to Kratos and his family. As he leaves, Athena mythically refers to him as brother. The gravedigger then buries Callisto next to Deimos and proclaims upon a third grave that now only one remains, as Kratos returns to his throne and plans his next move against the gods, leading his Spartan army to conquer Greece. After launching this attack, Athena pleads
What game is this? Ghost of Sparta or God of War 2? So this was Ghost of Sparta, and then this is God of War 2. So God of War Ghost of Sparta was the PSP game, from what I'm hearing.
To stop. He claims to owe her nothing and turns his back on her to assist his army in the town of Rhodes. There he spots an eagle, whom he believes to be Athena in disguise, whom robs him of his godly abilities, and instead comes to life and tries to kill Kratos. Zeus arrives and offers Kratos the Blade of Olympus, which he once used to win the great war between the gods and the Titans. Zeus urges Kratos to infuse the blades with his remaining godly powers, which renders him mortal once again, but allows him to destroy the Colossus from the inside. Upon doing this, however, Kratos is crushed by the Colossus' severed hand. Determining that he must retrieve the blade of Olympus to get his immortality back, he slowly makes his way over to it, only to be stopped by Zeus, who reveals himself to be the eagle that stole Kratos' power, in an attempt to kill him to stop him from overthrowing Zeus as he did with Ares. Zeus then stabs Kratos, killing him. While he is being dragged into the underworld,
that's how he got the scar. That's how he got the scar.
The Titans, Gaia, saves him and reveals that
Gaia?
Kronos, Zeus's father, ate all of his children in an attempt to stop the prophecy that he would die at the hands of Kronos, Zeus's father, ate all of his children in an attempt to
Zeus? What? Ate all his children?
Stop the prophecy. Gaia saves him and reveals that Kronos, Zeus's father, ate all of his children in an attempt to stop the prophecy that he would die at the hands of one of his sons. Zeus's mother, however, hid him on an island that was actually Gaia. Gaia raised the boy, but he grew vengeful and eventually sought to defeat the Titans, which he did by using the blade of Olympus. Gaia offers to help Kratos exact revenge on the king of Olympus.
So some stupid chain of vengeance, bro. So Kronos tried to eat some of his sons. Zeus wasn't happy about that. He got his vengeance. Right. Let me play that one more time.
Saves him and reveals that Kronos, Zeus's father, ate all of his children in an attempt to stop the prophecy that he would die at the hands of one of his sons.
Yeah?
Zeus's mother, however, hid him on an island that was actually Gaia. Gaia raised the boy, but he grew vengeful and eventually sought to defeat the Titans, which he did by using the blade of Olympus. Gaia offers to help Kratos exact revenge on the king of Olympus. Gaia gives Kratos the magical horse Pegasus, and he escapes the underworld to find the Sisters of Fate in order to change his past and kill Zeus.
Dude, imagine just being in God of War Ragnarok, dude. And you just flying around with Pegasus. You know how sick that would be? It's so crazy. I mean, it makes sense how the magic in this game wouldn't translate to another realm. The laws of magic and how things work probably are different in every land, but isn't it the same planet? You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's like, I don't know. It's weird.
The island of creation, and after besting several powerful foes, including a risen Ulrich, he comes across Icarus.
There should be VPNs for their magic, bro.
Below the earth and landing upon Atlas. Originally refusing to help Kratos, still holding begrudgment over his imprisonment at the Spartans' hands, Atlas is eventually persuaded to help him kill Zeus. Atlas helps Kratos return to the surface, where he awakens the Phoenix and flies to the Temple of the Fates to meet the sisters.
Ayo.
There, he expresses his wishes, but the sisters deny him passage. Kratos then confronts the youngest sisters, Lachesis and Atropos, who attempt to take him back to his battle with Ares and force him to die by the god's hand in the past. He avoids this effort and traps the sisters in a mirror, then destroying it to seal them away for
everyone doing my boy dirty.
Kratos then makes his way to the eldest sister, Clotho, who operates the Loom of Fate. Kratos kills the final sister and takes control of the loom to change his fate. He turns the thread of fate back to his death at the hands of Zeus and saves his past self by reclaiming the blade of Olympus before Zeus has a chance to. The two then engage in a battle until Zeus stuns Kratos with a lightning storm. Kratos plays possum and pins Zeus before driving the blade of Olympus into the god's chest. Before he can kill him, however, Athena appears and intervenes to protect Olympus. Zeus attempts to escape, Kratos lunges at him with the blade, and Athena sacrifices herself by jumping in front of it. Kratos asks Athena why she would do this, and she reveals that she did it to allow Zeus to stop the cycle of sons killing their fathers, finally revealing that Kratos is in fact a son of Zeus. Vowing to destroy Olympus, Kratos returns to the loom and turns back time all the way to the Great War. He calls out to Gaia and they return to Kratos' time, where an injured Zeus is calling on his fellow gods to kill Kratos. The Titan army, led by Kratos, then storm Olympus with the intent to win
that
the
must
Great
have been
War
a post-credit scene.
The Titans and gods wage a
that must have been tough to see a post. Oh no, that's it. God of War 3. I'm not gonna spoil myself. Okay, that's it. Oh Lord. So it literally is just a cycle of vengeance. That's why when Kratos killed Balder, he said the cycle ends here. He's trying to end the cycle of sons killing their parents, bro. Like, he saw in himself, he saw in Balder what used to be him. That is crazy. My God. You know what? This, obviously it's a recap video. This did go a little bit fast, but I managed to capture the most important things, which makes sense. Crazy how, okay, so Pandora's box wasn't something that was just mentioned in God of War 3. It's been something that, you know, that's something like he needed to generally, he's been going after for a hot minute. So you see some of these comments, the guy killed the whole world just because he wanted a good night of sleep. My goodness, Kratos dies so often he should get some kind of Hades loyalty card. Free coffee with every third death. Yeah, he needs an underworld loyalty card, mate. You know what, when does my dude even sleep? You know what I'm saying? He's literally always got nightmares, man. Why isn't my history classes easy to memorize? That's what I'm saying, man. They don't be teaching us like this in school, man. They don't be making things fun like this. Anyway, that's it. Recap. I'm now ready to continue. I'm now up to date. Yeah, it's crazy. Kratos' family got murked. His anger is justified, but the cycle of vengeance will just be crazy. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. The next part of God of War 3 will be out either tomorrow or Monday. So that's going to be like Kratos versus Hercules, and then whatever comes after. But yeah, thank you guys for so much support on the videos and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. This one was just for you guys. Stay safe, stay blessed. Shinobi Nation, we rise. Adios.